Mr. President, I want to tell you that last Thursday was a big day for me. In the morning, I got to welcome my first grandson.
And we've been listening to President Trump live at the White House delivering remarks on his administration's environmental record, despite pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, calling it now unfair, ineffective, and very, very expensive. I'm joined now by Axios energy and climate reporter Amy Harder. Amy, let's break down some of the things that we heard here. Thank you for joining me firstly. But leaving the Paris Agreement was viewed by many environmentalists and world leaders as taking a huge step backwards. Based on his speech today, how is President Trump planning to make up for that?
Well, he's really focusing on more traditional environmental issues, traditional air pollution like sulfur dioxide and lead, and he's really putting aside climate change. And so the administration is really trying to separate those two. But to most people, they're very related. Climate change is exacerbating a lot of environmental issues. And so that's been the focus of the speech today. And they didn't announce almost anything new. This is really just a repetition of the few things that they have done, mostly to continue a couple of things that the Obama administration has done on environmental issues or things that Congress has done. Congress passed a big public lands bill that Trump did sign into law. So there isn't a lot new here. I think what's behind this are the politics of the 2020 campaign.
And before we get into that, because I find that interesting as well, the president also touted several accomplishments related to the environment. You mentioned some, but including drinking water, the improvement of the quality there, air quality, also cleaning up and improving toxic algae, restoring ecosystems. Has this administration contributed to that progress? Can they take responsibility for that?
The short answer is no, they shouldn't take responsibility for that. But we are in Washington, D.C., where presidents often take credit for the things that their predecessors have done. And in this case, that's exactly what President Trump is doing. So something that is a little bit new here is that the EPA is going to release next week new data that shows that air pollution is down 74%. But that's since 1970, when the EPA was created. And all of those reductions, nearly all of them, have come long before Trump was in the White House. And in fact, the last couple of years, some of those emissions have actually ticked upward. I've been in touch with the EPA about that. They say it's because of more wildfires, which again, it goes back to climate change. Climate change is expected to exacerbate wildfires, particularly out west when the trees are getting drier and the temperatures are getting hotter. So these things are all connected, but the administration is trying to bury climate change and focus on traditional issues.
And we know that the Democrats running for president have made climate change and the environment a key issue in their campaigns. You kind of touched on it. Do you think this speech is in response to that? Why did the president to do this now? What's the timing? Why is it significant to you?
Yeah, there's a few different factors that are all related. I think one, because environmental and climate change issues are starting to become a political liability for candidates who dismiss it outright. And so the Green New Deal was something that the president mentioned today. Of course, the Green New Deal is this sweeping progressive proposal that would drastically reduce emissions and create some federal guarantees for jobs and health care. The president criticized it and cited a number that says it would cost almost $100 trillion. That number has been roundly criticized because it's not based in any facts, partly because none of us really have facts about the Green New Deal, to be fair. But nonetheless, the debate about the Green New Deal, the fact that it exists, is forcing Republicans, including now the president, to say something positive about the environment, even if the administration continues to not do anything that is all that positive for the environment. The EPA's main goal under Trump has been to repeal as many regulations that Obama issued as they can.
All right. Amy Harder, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.